Come all you young rounders, the story I'll tell.
Well, good morning, fellow travelers. Grab yourself a cup of joe and pull up to the fire. This morning we're doing something really simple again. This is one of those Wrassle-peas that you're going to use over and over again. If you do sourdough cooking, then you know you're always looking for ways to use up your discard and keep your starter going. This morning, we're making simple sourdough pancakes from scratch. There are countless recipes for sourdough pancakes out there, but I've been making them with this one for over 30 years and it hasn't failed me yet. I like to make my batter in this here pitcher style bowl. It makes it real easy to get that last bit of batter out when you're making your last flapjack. We're going to start with 1 egg and give it a little beating. Next we're going to put in 2 cups of sourdough starter, and you want to be very generous with that measurement. Sourdough is finicky stuff, and this recipe here will make about 10 pancakes, about 6 inches each, depending on how your starter decides to behave that day. 1 tablespoon sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 to 2 tablespoons of a neutral vegetable oil just to give the batter a little stretchiness. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And do not be generous on this measurement. This stuff can bite back. In fact, the worst batch of pancakes I ever made was with this same recipe here, but I made it when I was half asleep. But I got mixed up and I put in 1 teaspoonful of sugar and 1 tablespoonful of baking soda. I could not even feed that batch of pancakes to the birds. They deserve better. Now I like this Danish style whip. It is great for sourdough. It is also great for cookie dough and various other things. If you don't have one, this is a gadget that's worth spending a little extra and getting. Let that sit while you warm up your pan. It's going to develop bubbles, become lighter, and that's where our light fluffy pancakes are going to come from. I like to use this here 1/3 cup measuring cup to scoop up my batter. Most days that'll give me about 8 or 9 pancakes of about 6 inches each, 10 if I scoop a little shallow, and depending how the sourdough feels that day. Now you probably noticed that I keep a little bigger batch of starter than most folks do. That's because for me there's no such thing as discard. I mostly use this for the flapjacks, biscuits, and things like that. If you are one of those people that keeps a smaller batch of starter, what you want to do is start this the night before, measure out your ingredients in a bowl, whatever, put it together, let it rise overnight, and then in the morning you've got your starter ready to go. This morning we'll be using this little 10-inch Sydney Wagnerware skillet. You want to keep your cast iron pan well lubricated while you cook it. A lot of times people use oil, but in this case I'm going to be using some of that clarified butter that we made the other day, because its smoke point can reach up to about 480 degrees if it's been made properly. Now, you may have seen on the internet how you can use the butter to make your pancakes either look rustic or very, very smooth and clean. Well, we're making sourdough pancakes, and those are always going to be looking rustic. Alrighty, see how the edges are getting a little bit dry and we're getting some bubbles forming in the center? Let's take a peek. Almost ready to flip. I'm going to give it another second. Here we go. Nice and golden brown. How can we tell when it's done? Give it a little tap in the center there. If it springs right back up, it's done. That's looking pretty good. Alrighty, there's our stack of 10. Ready to eat. Now that's a fine flapjack, friends. If you like this here recipe, go on and hit that subscribe button. There's always more cooking to come.